Whatever you're doing, stop and watch the story of race car driver Tina Johnson. This summer, Tina was on the verge of making history at Atlanta Motor Speedway. No woman had ever won the Masters Division Championship at the Speedway. But what happened the day of the race is a story that would make Hollywood screenwriters drool. On a hot July night at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Tina Johnson is 3 laps away from history.
I was a little nervous.
It's Tina's last Thursday Thunder race, and she's close to becoming the first woman ever to win the Masters Division Championship.
It's one of those things where you know something big's going to happen.
It's the final chapter in a story that started with a conversation between Tina and her husband some 14 years ago.
My husband and I were at Sanoa Raceway just watching the races, and I told him, you know, my aspirations of driving a car when I was younger. He looked at me and said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I really do want to do that." He actually came over and ordered me a brand new Bandolero, and came home and said, "Okay, you want to go pick your car out?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was extremely scared once I did realize that he was serious. And when we went into my first race, because I'd never had any practice whatsoever on the track because it kept raining. You know, what do? When the rain keeps coming and the ground's wet, you can't practice. So finally my husband said, "We're just going to go race." I said, "Okay, fine, I can do this." And then during the race, there was some misfortune with the leaders, and I ended up winning my very first race going out.
And the wins kept coming, and so did the respect of other drivers.
As we would watch Tina month after month and year after year, she always got better. You know, she'd be better in 2002 than she was in 2001, and in 03 she was better than 02, and she just kept improving.
It wasn't long before Tina became one of the most popular drivers at AMS. Her skill and tenacity on the track, combined with her personality off it, made her a fan favorite. But there's one thing Tina hadn't done in her 14-year career: win a championship. But on the morning of July 23rd, she was on the verge of doing just that. Tina was the points leader heading into the last race. But that morning, she realized the path to history would not be easy.
And I had someone come to me and say, "Tina, you need to be careful on the track today." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And they said, "You know, there's going to be some things going on that I don't think is right." 2
drivers had been hired for one race, for one job: keep Tina from winning so her opponents could take the title.
So I just went to my trailer and sat down and prayed and said, "You know, I'm just going to pray through this, that everything will work out to the way that it's supposed to, no matter what." So on the first lap, I realized that everything that I was told was exactly how it was going to happen, because we had an incident on the first lap.
But Tina powered through, and a few laps later, she was in prime position to capture the title. But in the closing laps, a crash.
As soon as I got to the pits, I asked how many laps to go, and they told me 3. Well, I knew we were going to dead last, and the person that had to win the race was in first, and so I was probably not going to win the championship.
But with 3 laps to go, something that inspired Tina.
As I pull onto the track, I hear chants from the stands of my name. I mean, literally, their voices was echoing off the stands onto my car and vibrating the side of my car. And I hear this little girl screaming my name. "Tina, Tina, Tina, you got this. You can win this." And I'm like, oh my, I can do this. I can do this.
And in those 3 laps, everything fell into place. A mishap for the leader gave Tina a top 3 finish and her first ever championship.
Chills went down my body. I started crying, and I'm like, I'm going to start crying now. I'm like, this is amazing. I did this.
Tina had so many great stories about her career, from making cookies on race day to flipping her car several times. And listen to this: refusing to come out of the wreckage without her hair clipped. Tina's racing days at AMS are over, but she's staying on as an ambassador for the track, and she also wants to run a few races at other tracks around Georgia. Well, that's going to do it for CBS Sports Saturday. For Sherry Burris, I'm Fred Khalil.